Your natives need this. We're gonna show you the best practices to plant natives in your garden. We're going to outline the placement of our plant first using our tool of choice. That way, when I move the plant, I know exactly where it was. So typically you wanna dig a hole the size of your pot or a little bigger. I usually throw the soil off to the side, or you could use a bucket. That way, when you backfill it, it's a lot easier just to kind of throw it in. So I have my plant here, and you're probably wondering what's the bucket for? It's just to saturate this plant and really get all these air bubbles out. And when you take your plant out, you could use this water to water your hole. This is the roots of the plant. You could see that they're not too bad, but we still want to really scratch up the roots in order to give these roots a new life. And then also inside of your hole, you want to scratch up the walls of your hole, especially if you have clay soils. Now we're ready to plant this inside of our hole. We're going a little bit above the soil line. So see, the soil is right here. We're going a little bit above because over time, the soil is going to settle and this plant is going to get lower and lower into the ground. So we really want to protect the crown of the plant, and that is why we plant it a little higher. And as I'm backfilling, I'm really pressing down lightly just to make sure that when water begins to hit this plant isn't going to start moving around. So this is the soil line, and the crown's just a bit higher. In this situation, we will not need to build a berm because we have this drip line on both sides, so this plant is going to get irrigated. But if you do want to build a berm, it's always helpful if you have that excess soil, you can just compact it and just start building up those walls. One of these branches is a little top heavy. So what we're going to do, instead of this plant focusing on producing more flowers, we want it to focus on bushing out and really filling out this other side. So we're going to pinch it back a bit. So if you're planting in a mulched area, just make sure that you move that mulch away because it could hold a lot of water, especially if you have mulch at the crown of the plant. It could cause the plants to die. This is Bouteloua gracilis, also known as blue grama grass. This is a great plant, but an issue with this is typically when you get it, it has these circling roots. We want to give the plant a chance to live, so we're going to remove all of these roots. Since this is a grass, we're going to be planting this next to the emitter because they tend to dry out a lot quicker. And these go at ground level. So you don't have to plant these a little higher, just like that, making sure that we compact it just enough and not too much. And that's going to establish beautifully.